Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is DeCoY Downunder and I'm going to be showing you some DayZ gameplay. Just pretty much going to give you some basics on how to survive and how to get yourself geared up like I am here. DayZ standalone obviously is in alpha, so everything that I say today is subject to change. There's still a lot of bugs, it's completely unfinished, but let's just go ahead and look at some of these basics. Firstly, as you can see, my character is completely decked out in full gear with a nice big 35 slot backpack, a ballistics helmet, a gas mask, some nice cool designer shades, military boots, a fire axe, an M4A1 with a suppressor on the front, a BUIS, which is a different kind of a scope. I'll show you what it looks like. So the scope right in the middle of the screen isn't just the plain iron sight, it's got a little raised scope, which is not the best one, but it's definitely better than the original scope you get. Pretty much I've got a whole bunch of ammunition, as you can see here. A lot of food, I might eat this right now. Some ammo, a bandage, some handcuffs when I capture people, can opener, which is incredibly important. Some rice, a canteen, of course some drinks. Alright, so the first thing, not the first thing, but getting into it, when you start the game, you'll obviously start near the ocean. And let's pull up the map and I'll show you what I mean by this. We'll start near the ocean, and if you're on the southern flank of the map, you will hit the railroad first, followed by the road. So it's T for train, and R for road. So it's TR. On the opposite side, which I don't even have this map, but on the opposite side over here where Electro is, and to the right of Electro, or to the east of Electro, you'll actually hit road first and then train tracks. So the way I like to see it is road train tracks is on the right hand side, and those initials are RT, so right, and TR is on the left. So if you're ever starting off and you're not sure where you are, just figure out which is first, road or train tracks, and go the direction into the city that you want to go. Now, when you pick up items, start out with some pants with 4 slots in them. The first thing you want to do is try and find a backpack, which you can get a 25 slot backpack, a 30 slot, and a 35 slot, and bigger pants and a hoodie or some kind of tactical shirt. And that will give you more room to carry things, obviously. An assault vest you can pick up, like a holster that replaces the holster slot. You can find these in the military bases, and you can store mags in them and other things as well. If you end up getting quite a lot of ammunition, a 300 round box can be used to store excess ammunition in there, and that's pretty much what I'm doing with it. I've got about 300 rounds or something in total. I don't really have any issue with ammo at the moment. Alright, so let's go have a look at this town, and I'll show you what I mean by some very easy and similar tactics. I'm just going to check out the windows, because over here is the military base. That's the airfield. That's just in the beginning of the map, and quite often you'll see people running around there. So I don't want to go running around on the ground outside when there's a potential threat just outside my door. Alright. So when you're going through a town, the first things you want to do is go into third person. This may sound a bit weird, but third person gives you the ability to still zoom in and see everything you need to see. It gives you a slightly elevated position, which you can look over objects and around corners easier. Here's an example. I can actually look around this corner without actually peeping my head around. You can do the right peepy thing, but you don't need to do that. You can just look around this way. If I was in first person, I wouldn't know what was over there, and even if I peeked, I still have to get closer. So third person's always good. Now, a lot of people, myself included, like to fight in first person. That's okay. If you've got a weapon out, or any kind of a weapon, just tap the right trigger, and you go straight down your sights. Which is what you want to do if you're coming up against something and you want to get a clean shot on them. Because you can still fire accurately from here, but he's not going to be as accurate as this. Alright, so I'm just inside this town now. I'm going to do a quick little searching around. I'm going to keep prone. Not prone, sorry, crouched. Checking around these corners, everything seems clear. Just check out the face one more time. Okay, no one seems to be stalking me, which is great. Now, don't run in the middle of the road. That's virtually a death sentence. Zombies will see you easier, and players will see you easier. It's easy to look down a road because there's no cover. Instead, make your way through scrubs and bushes, and use the V button, which is your climb over objects button, to just get around corners and little obstacles without having to detour a lot. When you get to a house, such as this one, there's a good rule of thumb. If the door is closed, it has not been searched. Generally. If you come to a town and every door is closed, it's almost guaranteed the town hasn't been visited since it's been restarted and everything has been respawned. So you can actually go through this building and you should be able to find useful items in here. Of course, it's not guaranteed, but it's much easier than guessing half the time. If you do need supplies and the door is open, if you've got, you know, a little chance, you don't think anyone's around, feel free to go ahead and look in. The reason for that is someone may have left food. Like at times I have heaps of food and I might be looking for a specific item. Like I was going through some towns before and all I had heaps of weapons, I had heaps of food, heaps of water, everything I needed to, but I did not have a big backpack. I only had a 25 slot backpack. So I was desperately searching for those extra storage spaces, and the towns are a pretty decent way to look for that. So I was leaving heaps of food behind. So it's not me. I mean, if the doors are open and you do need food or any other supplies like that, feel free to have a look through. But you'll have a higher success rate on closed doors, and they'll be less likely for anyone to be there. If you happen to go into a building and all the doors on the inside are open, but the doors on the outside are closed, there is a chance that someone is in that building and they've just closed the front door, or someone probably has joined the building, closed the front door and logged out. They have to open that door to get out. Sometimes it's a back door that's open, so don't freak out too much. Alright. Some other tips for surviving is... So I'm just going to check out this area, make sure no one's sneaking up on me. Item supplies. Now I have never found anything in here. So never I mean, I've checked them frequently, and I've still yet to find a single item in those little sheds, so I don't bother anymore, to be honest. It's not really worth my time or the risk of being exposed. Here, there you go. Here's a can of drink and a backpack. So drop and drag this into my inventory, and the backpack's a 25 slot. I pretty much cycled around until I got a green backpack, just to help my camouflage, because I got the spring hunter pants, which are like a grassy look to them, the olive tactical shirt, which is 4 slots, but also gives me that green camouflage I'm after. My backpack's green, my helmet's green, even my gas mask kind of blends in. So everything I'm wearing, even my gloves and my boots, are very camouflage-like. And when you're in the bushes and the scrub and you lie down completely, it's pretty hard to see you. The only thing that stands out, I reckon, is my axe. But I can't do too much about that. I do need the axe. Alright. That brings me to my my next topic of how to defend yourself. Well, you should be able to find a weapon in most of the starting towns. The most obvious weapon you want is an axe. An axe is essentially a one-hit kill on a zombie. And, oops, don't want to do that. Essentially a one-hit kill on a zombie. Oops, I put my gun away by accident. And you have 3 types of axes. There's a firefighter's axe, there's a splitting axe, there's a different kind of axe which I think uses the same model as the firefighter's axe. And one of the best ways to handle zombies, so I'll switch to first person because I like to fight in first person, is I pull out the axe, stand up, oops, pull out the axe, there we go. Now if you have the axe like this, when you swing, it'll go to your right. It won't actually land in front of you, it'll go more towards this side when you're swinging. So if you press the space bar, it drops the axe down, and when you swing, it's directly in front of you. It's a much easier and more accurate way to swing the axe than you expect. Okay, make sure no one's around, cool. So when I'm attacking a zombie, I strafe backwards and forwards like this. Or, sorry, not backwards, sorry, sideways and backwards, sideways and forwards, depending on how the zombie's running. If you do this, the zombies currently can't turn very well, and they'll be running around in a circle following you. And every now and then you should be able to whack off while you're running still, an axe into the back of them. One hit's all it takes. I've yet to take a hit from a zombie while doing that. Alright, now what I tend to do is keep my gun out at all times when I'm inside of town. But you guys, here's the zombie. See if I can attract it, sorry. See if I can attract the zombie and just demonstrate to you guys what I mean by the, whoops, there we go. So raising it to the middle. Where's the zombie going? Here we go. It's a bit confused, that's fine. I'm going to bring it out to the open. Yep. There we go. See, and they can't turn very well, so as a result they can't just... They have to hit you front on. So coming at me from the side is not an option for them. But definitely an option for you. Still seems clear. Sorry about the low frame rate. This game still isn't fully optimized.